Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Jamal and The Spaniard, recording from beautiful Granada, where today we'll be punching you in the face with everything that you thought was true. Spaniard, how's it going?
I am delightful. How about yourself?
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I'm pretty good.
Right.
Pretty good.
We had a previous episode and we did not introduce ourselves, so if anyone is listening to that, you'll just have to figure it out on your own.
Yeah, eventually we'll be people who need no introductions, but for now,
yeah.
I am Jamal.
And I am on crack cocaine, obviously. Okay, so let's.
That's on your better days.
It's just you just said that, so obviously it was just excellent. Okay, let's talk some news. What do you got for me today?
Yeah, this I know is really gonna kind of slap you in the face with what. Here's the headline from our favorite news source, the Daily Mail.
Oh, good. Good.
Stellar reporting agency. Here we go. A gay student, age 19, is planning to lose his virginity in front of an audience of 100 in the name of art. So, in other words, he's going to let another man bone him in a gallery in London as an exhibit. Well, and then he's going to ask the audience what they thought afterwards. So, I mean, I think a lot of our listeners are already hopping on planes to London, but
yeah,
what about you? What do you think?
Well, number one, you got to remember that this is a place where they give out art prizes in the tens of thousands of dollars to things like messy beds, sharks that are sawed into lunch meat slices, and other stuff like that. So it really doesn't surprise me. And number two, didn't they have another exhibit like this somewhere in the States where a woman and a man were doing this or something?
That sounds familiar. I know I've heard about women selling their virginity for $50,000 so they can go to college, which I think is interesting because they've already hit upon a way to make loads of money, and yet now they want to go to college instead so they can work 9 to 5 and a shitty job for low pay. They can just re-virginize themselves, which I'm sure our listeners will think, what the hell do I mean? But they can just say, hey, I'm a virgin. And most guys will be too stupid to question that, and there you go.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know what? It's interesting that you mentioned that, because there's actually a surgical procedure that's big, really big now in the Middle East that does that. It actually re-sews the hatch so that it...
Re-sews the hatch. Sensitive man, the Spaniard.
But
it's even more interesting, the subject of that, because I've read, of course, that in children, just like running on a soccer field can bust the flap and their virginity right there. And maybe that wasn't the best term, but and also, of course, there are as many different types as there are different women. So the old school nuns or clerics doing a pelvic examination probably didn't know what the hell they were looking at, because it was different in everyone. I wonder how many people were burned alive because of misunderstandings. So.
But I don't get it. Like, you trip out a soccer field and you just tear open the
or
meat? Like what's going on here?
Like riding a horse, or I know a lot of kids don't ride horses anymore these days, but any kind of sudden physical activity that jars the pelvic region, I guess, could a nightmare for moms everywhere who are trying to determine the purity of a woman. But Mr. Clayton Pettit, the 19-year-old gay man in London, doesn't have to worry about any of that, because it will be his butt that is de-virginized.
It is
in a gallery,
and there's no fixing that. You just gotta walk around with a bucket between your legs from there on.
And we all know the goats guy on the internet, or Goatsy, or however it's pronounced. So one penis will quickly become a lampshade, and packs of sausages and entire shoes, and then before you know it, he'll be an internet phenomenon. So, I'm curious, did you have any interesting news articles to share?
I do. I do.
Oh,
As a matter of
interesting.
fact, this is an entirely different topic. This isn't a WTF topic, but it can be. It can be. I'm actually going to share the link with you in our studio in Granada. And here's the link. I want you to watch the video, and while you're watching the video, I'm going to watch it with you, and I'm going to describe what's going on.
All right, 2 minutes 37 seconds. That's the one.
Yes.
Oh, this guy Bruce York, he looks like a bad guy from an X-Files episode.
Yeah. Okay, and
all right.
I'm going to turn off the sound to it. You can listen to the sound and turn it off. There's not really anything important for the sound. There was this really weird fireball that appeared over the skies of Maine, and it is almost, I don't know if you probably know about the giant fireball meteor thing that happened over Russia, right? That basically destroyed the city from the shockwave and stuff like that.
Of course, yeah, it was crazy.
Now, this appeared over Maine. I don't know the exact place, but, actually the video says it in Oxford County, Maine. And it not only changed direction in the sky, but it was moving at approximately 5 to 10 miles per hour. I guess people were saying, judging from the ground. I don't know how accurately they can actually judge that. But yeah, they were watching this, and it was weird. It made no sound. It just had flames running through it. But the really weird part is that not only has this appeared in Russia, this is not the first time this has appeared over Maine of the the last maybe a couple of months and stuff like that. Apparently this has appeared a second time, and I would encourage people to look up the fireball in Oxford. Where did I say it was? Oxford County, Maine, and check it out for yourself, because this will appear in the news and then it will disappear just as quickly. And
I would encourage people in Oxford County, Maine, to invest in anti-aircraft guns for their houses, just in case.
Well, you know what? It's getting really weird, because objects like this are starting to appear more and more across the world. And if you just go on YouTube, you could just look this stuff up. Giant objects like this, really huge fireballs, some that are so bright they actually turn like a nighttime landscape into the day. And, I just thought that'd be interesting to share, because it's weird. I don't know what it means. The sun's also been acting really weird lately. The weather across the world is just absolutely nuts, if anyone's been paying attention to what's going on in North America. And wasn't there I heard in the news there's a snowstorm in Japan that killed like a dozen people or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. Which is unfortunate, but also kind of amusing when a mild snowfall results in death. I guess maybe if it snowed here in Granada, we'd probably both die as well. So I can't really laugh too much, but I'll laugh a little. So I'm watching that video right now, and about 2 minutes in, I have no idea what that is, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anti-aircraft guns, buy them now.
Yeah. One of these days, somebody's going to fly out of it or climb out of it, and all your bases will belong to them, and that'll be that.
So. I think so.
All right, what's our...
I scroll down to look for the inevitable experts on everything who comment on everything on the internet, but there are no comments for that. So, wait, yes there are. Yeah. Yes there are. Oh, they're collapsed.
We should check it out.
Let's see. One guy says, "My God, it's the mothership coming for Calypso Louie." Okay.
Right.
Alex, everybody's favorite expert, says it's not a fireball. It's the sun shining brightly through a cloud or contrails or something. It happens all the time when the sun is going down. Look in the dusk sky, and I'm sure you'll see something similar at some point. Well, all right, I will, and I'll let you know, Alex, if you're listening.
Alex, clearly, after listening to our show, needs to go to his nearest eyewear shop and invest in a pair of spectacles, because it does not look anything like what you just described.
Well, his controversial counterpart, Art, says, "What is it? It's a commercial jet at cruise level traveling away from the camera towards the sun on the horizon. The sunbeams are lighting up the contrail like it was on fire."
Well,
Interesting.
yeah, maybe, but I don't know. It looks like there's something at the beginning, at the head of the trail.
Here's someone with a more reasonable mind.
Okay.
Michael says, "Wow, looks like the beginning of the end to me. I'd be shitting bricks if I saw that. First reaction, alien invasion. Second reaction, dig a hole and bury myself to avoid the first wave of attacks. It would have been in that hole for a week before I knew it was just some space garbage burning up. Well, they're better safe than sorry, so I think I'll go and find a shovel after we're done."
Yep.
All right. Well, moving on.
Yeah.
Leave you a question for me.
Okay. Okay. Do you have another piece of news, or?
No, I'm waiting for your question. Your big question.
Oh, you want
difficult.
you want a big question? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Test me and see if you can give me one I can't answer.
I'm going to give you I'm going to give you a news story first, and then I'm going to give you a question based on that, and then we'll probably finish up this segment, and then in our next segment, we're going to start off by you giving us your answer. Okay.
That sounds great. That'll be next week.
Okay. There is a zoo in Denmark, and it had one too many giraffes, and I don't know if you. What the hell is that noise? That sounded like someone sawing through bone while midgets screamed.
Oh, that was the curled cord on my. You mean this noise? Like that?
Yeah, sort of.
Oh,
okay.
That's the cord on my headphones. They're stretched a bit too much, so occasionally they elastic band snap back towards where they're plugged in. So.
All right, fair enough. And you all, everyone listening, all zero of you will probably hear many interesting noises on this show.
Indeed.
So don't be afraid, or be afraid. Both are reasonable.
Especially you, David. We appreciate you listening to us the most.
Okay, zoo in Denmark had one too many giraffes. I don't know if you've read the story or not. No? Sound familiar? No?
No.
Okay. His name was Maurice the Giraffe, I think. Oh, no, Marius. Marius the Giraffe. Healthy giraffe, a young giraffe. And they couldn't keep him because if you have too many animals of the same kind of, or from the same family or genetic pool or stuff like that, they begin inbreeding and they begin weakening, the health of the rest of the animals. So they can't have that giraffe around anymore. So, what do you think the options on the table were? One, they could sell it to another zoo. Two, maybe release it into sort of like a halfway reserve or something and release Marius back into the wild. Or three, kill it in front of all the children at the zoo, saw it up in front of all the children at the zoo, and then feed its pieces to the lions while all the children watched. Well, which of the three do you think they did?
Well, just from knowing what always seems to be the real answer with these questions on the internet, I would obviously see, but I would like to think that reasonable people would have sent them to another zoo at the very least, made some money off of them. But the kind of people who actually run zoos, I think, are definitely the kind of people who would happily saw a giraffe in front of its fans. So I'm going to go see.
And sadly, you'd be right. And these are the two saddest parts about it. Number one, another zoo offering them €500,000 to host that giraffe. And number two, at the end of it all, the guys who, or whoever were running the Denmark Zoo, or the scientists, whoever who thought this would be a good idea to show children, said, whoops, this experiment didn't really work after all, and the children basically learned nothing from it. So my question to you is, you're Marius the Giraffe, and precisely 72 hours before this happens, you achieve human sentience. And my question to you is, what do you think, and what do you do? And on that note, we're going to conclude this episode. I'd like to thank everyone for listening.
Thank you all. Thank you.
And we're going to get to that question and Jamal's answer, which I'm sure will be very intriguing.
This will keep me up for a while.
After either a break or till we meet you next time. We'll see you then.